Maybe you have seen this before. A bird with feathers spread out and its body flattened on soil, exposing its upper parts and head to the sun. When it is sweltering out, they will also have their mouths open, panting similar to a dog. Often people think there is something wrong. I can see how they would make that assumption, but hang on a second. As with humans, birds also like to sit under the sun. Since the early 1800s, this behavior, called sunbathing or sunning, has been recognized by ornithologists. At the time, it was clear that the birds were extending their feathers in the sun's warmth, but not understood why they did this. Today we have a better understanding as to why, and can see that many different species love to catch some rays on their beautiful feathers. In fact, we know of 50 families that sunbathe. The act of sunning for our feathered friends has some excellent reasons behind it. In a nutshell, it serves as a part of feather maintenance. Around 9% of a bird's time is centered around keeping its feathers in good condition. It doesn't stop there, though. They also sun for internal health benefits. But first, how does it help their plumage? When it comes to feather care, the warmth from the sun does some wonders to pesky tiny ectoparasites, like lice that damage feathers. Due to how difficult they are to get at, removing lice through preening alone is a hard task. It was found by researchers that just a little time, say around 10 minutes of direct sunlight, heated the wings of birds to between 140 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit, enough heat to kill the parasites. Besides feather maintenance, there are other reasons why they sunbathe. On cold mornings or after a cold night, a bird will fly to a perch where there is direct sunlight and spread its wings or turn its head to the sun to warm up. Turkey vultures are notorious for doing this. Birds also use the sun to help dry off after bathing in water. Now the interesting part. As birds sun themselves, they are not only exposing their feathers to the sun, but also their skin. By allowing their skin to be exposed for a period of time, they are triggering the manufacture of vitamin D3. 10 minutes to an hour of direct sunlight to the skin on their legs, feet, and head can make enough vitamin D, helping with the metabolism of calcium in their bodies, something that is very important for birds. The sunlight can even penetrate through dense feathers, reaching the skin. Another part of their body that is often exposed during sunning is a preen gland that is located at the base of their tail. It is also known as the uropygial gland. It secretes oil that birds use to coat their feathers for protection from water and other environmental elements. When this gland is exposed to sunlight, another thing happens. Compounds in the oil are converted to vitamin D3. When the bird preens their feathers with this oil, there is some contact with the skin, and also some deposits on their tongue. So they get a dose of vitamin D through ingestion as well. Without exposure to UV light, birds develop a calcium deficiency, which in turn causes a whole host of horrible things to the bird's health. The sun is especially critical for young birds that are still growing. Sunning is so essential to birds that they cannot resist spreading out when the sun's rays hit them. I've seen various birds sunning in all kinds of places, on the ground, in a tree, on a utility wire, and even on a chair right next to me in my backyard, as Sweet Girl is doing in these pictures from 2 years ago. There is something a little different that looks like sunning that I should mention: anting. This is when birds allow ants to come up all over their body and feathers. It seems as though the formic acid ants secrete helps birds to get rid of ectoparasites, and it can also relieve them from skin irritation that occurs during their molt. But unless you see ants on their feathers, they are probably more than likely sunning and not anting. And back to determining whether or not a bird is hurt. Don't be quick to jump to conclusions. Observe for a bit. If the bird eventually goes on its own or starts preening, chances are it was just reaping the benefits of the sun and not injured or unwell.
I think Spot is hitting on Sweet Girl.
The need for the sun is very real. Birds not only require it for vitamin D production, but also for skin, feather, and organ health, and for hormone balance. Besides all these practical health reasons, sometimes as I watch one of the blue jays tip their head back and their eyes taking on the look of pure ecstasy, I can't help but to think that they also just enjoy it. Even researchers suggest that as another possible reason. Each summer, the intense sunshine works its magic by boosting our feeling of well-being. In fact, serotonin, a feel-good hormone, actually increases in our bodies during this time. So perhaps that's the case for the birds as well. We love the sun, so why can't other animals on this planet love it too? I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a few new things about our little feathered buddies. Comment below and share your own thoughts and experiences. Thank you for watching. Happy birding! If you'd like to support my channel, the very best way is by liking this video or sharing it with other fellow birders. One other way is by visiting my shop at LesleytheBirdNerd.com, where you can get a little something back at the same time or a gift for a friend or loved one. Thank you for the support.